What is it that really makes a man attractive and irresistible to women? Now, let me just tell you this as a woman myself and as someone who's worked with many women and men. It's not just about how much money you have or how jacked you are or how smooth your lines come across. It's about who you are, how you carry yourself, and how you show up in a dynamic. Let's break down some of the traits that will make you as a man irresistible to a woman, whether you're building a new connection or deepening one that you already have. So you've got the career, the discipline, the drive, but when it comes to women, it can sometimes feel like you're fumbling in the dark. Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm a love and confidence coach, and I support men just like yourself. My goal is to give you the tools to master confidence, communication, dating, and emotional intelligence, so you can become the high-value man that gets the girl of your dreams. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, then do be sure to subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so you can get notifications for all my future videos. And do be sure to give it a thumbs up and like this video so other men just like yourself can also learn and grow in this area. All right, let's get back into it. So the first quality that I want to talk about in this video is the concept of being untamable, but not chaotic. So to touch on this, there's something that I would like to tell you that probably not many people tell you as a man. Women want to feel your power and your potency as a man. Now, that doesn't mean domination or being emotionally unavailable. It means that you are a man who moves with intention and you don't need approval to feel worthy. There's just something magnetic about a man who's a little bit untamable. Not in a reckless, undisciplined, arrogant kind of way, but in the sense that you are free and you communicate that with your actions. You've got your own mind, your own path, your own vision, and you're not molding yourself to fit what somebody else wants you to be. As a woman, I can tell you that we want to feel that you are with us because you really choose to be there. And there's something very attractive and powerful about feeling chosen. Freedom blended with an intentional, grounded presence in a woman's life is an extremely attractive quality for a man to have. So the second thing that I really want to talk about is emotional sovereignty. Emotional sovereignty really connects you with women in a deep way. And it's also an important quality if you want to connect with yourself in a deep and meaningful way and master your own experience and take ownership of your experience as a man. For any emotionally intelligent, high-value woman who is going to really add so much joy and abundance to your life, one of the most important qualities that she's going to be looking for, even just on an intuitive level, is emotional sovereignty. And that's a very attractive quality. What emotional sovereignty looks like is not taking a woman's emotions personally and not absorbing her emotions as your own, and also not trying to fix and problem solve her emotions so that you can feel okay in yourself. When she feels overwhelmed or emotional, you stay calm and you have the groundedness to ask her, do you need space or would you like support right now? And you do this without losing your center. That is something that really makes a woman feel safe. And when a woman feels safe, she softens, she opens to you, she allows you into her life in a deeper, more meaningful way. Because you're showing her with this level of emotional groundedness and sovereignty that you can be with her without becoming consumed with her emotional experience. You're able to witness her in her chaos, in her emotions, without becoming absorbed into it or making it about you in those moments. Recognizing that she is taking ownership for her emotions and she's expressing things in her emotional state that is hers to hold. And instead of taking it personally or making it about you or becoming defensive and deflective or just running away from it completely because you don't know how to handle it, you're able to be that still presence who can observe and witness her and hold space for her to express those emotions from a really safe, grounded place. It's her emotional experience that she needs to process. And what she really just needs is somebody to hold her, witness her, and support her through that process. And what this really communicates is a very deep level of emotional maturity. And that is something that's quite rare to find. The next thing I want to talk about is purpose over performance. Especially as a man, it is so important to connect with your sense of purpose, to connect with something that really drives you and makes your life feel meaningful for you. So if you ever find yourself feeling like you don't quite measure up because you haven't achieved the level of wealth and success that you've been told that you should, something that is so much sexier than wealth and monetary success is purpose. Women are drawn and attracted to a man who is building something for him. Whether that's your passions, a career, your mind, your body, anything that gives you a sense of direction and drive in your life. When we talk about purpose, it's really about connecting with what your sense of purpose is, your deep sense of meaning. and finding the things that really light you up for you. Not because it's something you've been told that you should do so you can be more impressive and more performative, but the things that really speak to you in your life. And the kind of energy that is present with a man who's connected to his mission and his purpose is very contagious and attractive. Purpose shows that you have structure in your life, and it shows that you're someone who has a vision for yourself. And that sense of structure and vision and drive is something that makes a woman feel fundamentally safe with you, because she can see that you're able to commit to things that are important to you and see them through. It's something that makes you excited to wake up in the morning, that is really for you. And that's something very sexy to any woman, particularly women who are very connected to their feminine energy. It's something that we really seek, is a man who is connected to his sense of purpose and mission. And hey, if you don't know what your drive and your mission is right now, that's absolutely fine. Let your purpose be becoming the kind of man that you are proud of and stepping into the shoes of your most authentic, most highly expressed self. That is more than enough. The next thing I want to talk about is the importance of having standards and not just surface level nice guy energy. Kindness is a really important quality, but kindness without boundaries is not attractive. In fact, it can get quite exhausting over time to witness that a man doesn't have certainty of his worth and isn't able to communicate his needs and his boundaries in a calm, compassionate, but clear way. Women don't want to just be with a man who is really nice. They want to be with a man who knows his worth, he knows the value of his time and his energy that he's investing, and he has clear standards that he's looking to be fulfilled. So when you calmly express something like, I don't have any tolerance for passive-aggressive behavior, or I value mutual effort and honest, transparent communication, or saying simply that you just will not tolerate a lack of respect in any kind of dynamic. When you communicate these things, it's sexy because you're showing her that you know your worth, you know what you deserve, and you're not afraid to lose her in the face of those standards not being met. When you do this, you're instantly creating a sense of polarity and attraction because you're communicating to her the kind of man that you are, the way that you want to show up in a relationship, and also how you expect her to show up in turn. And you're showing very clearly in a kind, compassionate way, but in a firm way at the same time. If somebody isn't able to meet your standards, then it's not something you're willing to tolerate, and you're going to leave that connection. And that says a lot about your worth and your sense of confidence in who you are and what you deserve. That's not controlling, it's clarifying. Just think, whenever you meet a woman who is able to communicate her standards and her boundaries in a really calm, compassionate, but clear and firm way, that just makes you respect her more. It makes you feel more attracted to her because she knows her own worth and she's not willing to tolerate less than that. And the exact same goes the other way. You also have the right to express and communicate your needs and your standards. You also have the right to walk away from someone who isn't willing to respect those standards and live up to them. And being able to communicate about those things and live by them in a really grounded way is such a sexy and attractive quality. And any woman worth your time is only going to respect you more for being able to communicate and live by your standards. And last but not least, own who you are fully. I feel like this can be underrated or overlooked so often because it's such a cliche piece of advice that we hear all the time, and we might not really know exactly what we mean when we say this, but it's so important to own who you are authentically. Stop shrinking yourself or performing to get approval or wearing a mask and pretending to be who you think she wants you to be or who you think the world wants you to be. Whether you're into business or crypto or anime or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, poetry or powerlifting, dancing, singing, making music, whatever it is that you're into, own it. When you're fully embracing and expressing yourself and who you really are, what your interests and your passions really are, you're giving off something that can never be faked by anyone else, and that is authenticity. Authenticity is such an important quality for us to be tapping into. Show the weird and quirky and honest parts of yourself. If you've got these dorky sides that maybe you're afraid that someone is not going to find attractive, but that's authentic to you, expressing that's really important, because as long as you're wearing a mask and you're pretending to be something that you think someone wants you to be, you're always going to attract someone who's looking for that mask. And you're always going to be wondering in the back of your mind, does this person really like me for who I am? If she knew about these parts of myself that I really like, that are maybe a bit weird and a bit dorky, is she going to lose attraction for me? And it's so important for us not to hide these parts of ourselves, but instead to embrace them and wear them with pride and show them to the world and to the people that we're dating. Because in the end, the kind of woman who's going to really authentically connect with who you really are is only going to find you if she can see you. And if you're always hiding who you are and you're pretending to be something that you think some idea of a woman wants you to be, then when you do meet the kind of woman who would have actually liked you for your most authentic self, she's not even going to see you. She's just going to see the mask, and she's not going to be interested in that mask because she's looking for the real you that you're hiding behind it. So it's really important that we express ourselves with authenticity and own who we are. Look, everyone's a bit weird. Everyone has weird interests and weird hobbies and weird, geeky, nerdy, dorky things that we do. This is part of being human. And we also have, passions and interests that we can get sucked into that we might feel like other people don't necessarily understand. But owning those things and owning who you are in all aspects is such a powerful thing that you can do to communicate to the world and to the women that you're dating that you are looking for someone who's truly going to see you for who you are. Okay, so there are 5 qualities that if you can start tapping into those are going to have a really meaningful impact in your relationships. But I might still hear some of you saying, okay, well, I'm being myself all the time and it's still not really working. Or, okay, well, why do women say that they want depth, but then they choose someone else, right? And I hear that. But what's important to remember here is that you are not trying to win every woman over. This is about filtering. A man who is purposeful, grounded, emotionally intelligent, and authentic. That's not a man who's going to attract everyone. But the woman who's ready to meet him there, she's going to be drawn to him. So remember that you're not here to convince everyone. You are here to get more aligned with yourself so that you can attract the right kind of person to your life. And you don't waste time investing so much time and energy into the wrong women who ultimately are never going to give you the kind of connection that you're truly looking for deep down. So whether you're single, dating, building a current connection, or you're in a long-term relationship that you just want to deepen, just remember that being attractive is not about how impressive you are. It's about how aligned you are with yourself, and therefore how aligned you can be with her if she's the right person for you and is willing to meet you there. So show up as the man who is unshakable in his values, directed in his purpose, present in his emotions, and most importantly, proud of who he is and who he is becoming. That is the kind of man that women do not just notice, but they remember. Drop a comment in the section below and let me know which of these qualities are you currently working on or most excited to start working on. And if you're wanting to take this deeper and learn more about this topic, then do be sure to check out the video that's on screen now. This video is going to show you how you can move past just surface level attraction and move towards something that's far more magnetic and meaningful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.